Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we go into public hearing, we'll hear a final plat for Sandy Ridge Estates subdivision.
I think it's upside down.
Right down over there.
If we got to do.
Yeah.
Well, he said GFAG.
That's the one that's been ready to.
Sandy Ridge.
They already. Here somewhere, one of these. We did,
Then you came back with the remainder.
tell them they can get a contract.
To do these three, we put it into a major subdivision.
But yeah, we still got
These two.
H if people get the pipe.
You see G?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Anything you want to add?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
It's G.
This plat was originally submitted for 5 lots.
Yes, sir.
Submitted on my subdivision that I could approve. It was approved and the property owners came back with the other 3, which moved it into a major subdivision. So that's why the plat is before you all for final approval. However, in the subdivision ordinance under Article 7, Section 75-2.1, it states that the planning commission determines that the use of the property after proposed subdivision would not be inconsistent with the current zoning designation. The planning commission shall have the power to waive the right of rezoning. Normally what happens with the major subdivision is they're required to rezone to either R1, R2, or R2A. The other 5 lots are currently ag. I can't make the call for y'all, but I don't see changing the other 3 lots to R1 or R2. You got 5 that's gonna stay as ag.
That's sad,
But that's up to you all.
Can we? when
Can't
go into
we,
public-
can't we just waive the rezoning?
Yes.
Go into public hearing and make that motion?
Yeah, no, you can do this,
Okay.
but this way, when you accept the plat or not accept it.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we waive the rezoning on those lots of G, H, and F.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed,
Do y'all approve the final plat?
motion carries. Yeah, I guess he's saying that with the approval of that.
Okay.
You need these back, don't you?
Did you get straight?
You good?
All right. So we're now in a public hearing.
You got motion and approve. You get the name. Who seconded it?
Mr. Hester. Yes.
Okay, I'm caught up.
Okay. We're now going to public hearing. Couple items I want to go over before we get started.
First of all, anybody got cell phones, please put them on silent. If you need the restrooms, they're out the door and to the left. And we're gonna read this. The applicant will be given 30 minutes to present their application. The applicant will be advised when they have 5 minutes and 2 minutes left remaining. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to address the Planning Commission. The time will be strictly enforced. Each speaker will be advised when 2 minutes has elapsed. Each speaker will be advised when 3 minutes has elapsed. Each speaker will be permitted to address the Planning Commission only once. The 3-minute opportunity to speak cannot be transferred to another speaker. Speaker should speak directly to the Planning Commission and address their comments to the Planning Commission and not others who are presenting at the meeting. Speakers should not turn and face and address members in the audience. The Planning Commission is conducting the public hearing to receive comments from interested parties. Neither the Planning Commission nor its staff will respond to questions during the public meeting. The Planning Commission asks that everyone at the meeting be respectful to others who are present and asks that those present not to applaud speakers. As a reminder, it is inappropriate at the public meeting to make personal attacks or defamatory or disparage individuals or groups. Profanity will not be tolerated. Prior to beginning of the meeting, beginning your comments, please state your name, address for the record. If you would wish to speak, there's a sign-up sheet in the front. If you have not signed up, please do so now. First item on our agenda tonight is an application by Michael Crutchfield for a special exception permit. This is a special exception permit to allow for RV hookups. This property is zoned agriculture, is located on the south side of Highway 1, approximately 1,000 feet west of its intersection with Route 650. This is in election District 4. Is there anyone here to speak for this application? Yeah. Yes, sir. Come forward, state your name.
I'm Michael Crutchfield, 8443 Highway 1 South Hill.
Okay. Could you tell us a little bit about what you're planning there?
I'd just like to put a couple of campers on that to rent camping spaces for some of the workers around here.
Okay.
And that's about it.
That's about it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that'll be year-round?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any particular, like the people that working out here on Microsoft or
Anybody wanted to?
anybody that
Yeah, anybody wanted to, I wouldn't have any.
probably for temporary residence?
Yeah, just temporary residents, that's all.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else here to speak for this application? Is there anyone here to speak against this application? Please come forward and state your name.
Yes, sir. My name is William Bryson, 30 Simmons Farm Lane, Broadnax, Virginia. I think this particular track he's talking about is right across from Dollar General. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Has this been brought up to the VDOT and everything for this to happen?
I don't think you have to bring that before
I think you do.
No, sir.
You don't?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, I have restrictions on my property across the road with the road. You can only make a right-hand turn coming out of Dollar General. You cannot make a left-hand turn.
Okay.
And he wants to put, it has to be approved by VDOT and everything else for this to happen. I think I'm correct?
No, sir.
Yeah, I'm not, and that, so why am I restricted?
He's commercial. This is not commercial.
Right.
This is not commercial.
Dollar General's a commercial business. This is not commercial.
That's the reason. He's able to turn even with campus and stuff like
He
that.
can use a regular driveway.
So,
He can use a regular driveway.
a regular driveway.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, that was my, I haven't got any problem with it. I just wish I could turn left and go back towards South Hill from my store,
I got you.
instead of having to run around in a circle.
I understand.
You understand? Okay, all right. Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. Is there anyone else here to speak against this application? Did we have any other calls or letters, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is in election District 4. Is there any discussion? Do I hear a motion on this application?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion then. We recommend that we approve this. The county has approved these types of applications in the past. It will not be detrimental to the public welfare. It will not affect adversely the health, safety of persons of the neighborhood or proposed use. Owners will be allowed only 3 RV hookups. The site will not be used for permanent rental sites. The owner will be responsible for all activities on this property.
Okay. Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Next item on our agenda tonight is we've received an application from David and Tammy Williams for a special exception permit to allow for a horse ranch for boarding, training, competition events, and small farm with 2 ranch-style residences, hospitality, and 4 cabin rentals. This property is zoned agriculture, is located on the north side of Route 728 Union Chapel Road, approximately 1 mile west of its intersection with 781 1 Mile Road. This is in Election District 1. Is there anyone here to speak for this application? Please come forward and state your name.
Tammy Williams, 202 Wilcox Street, Warrenton, North Carolina.
Okay. Could you tell us a little bit about what you're...
Yes, this is a family dream with my daughter and her husband and my grandchildren. My granddaughter, Annabelle, is an avid equine trainer, and she competes nationally. She has nationally competed for mounted archery, and she trains horses, breaks horses, and is very successful in that. And her dream is to have an equine business with her, grandparents and my daughter's family. We would like to have a training center so that she can bring people, there to train. Sometimes the horses have to stay, and they might be brought in from another state. The woman that is head of the equine mounted archery is #1 in the nation now. They just came back from a Tennessee competition. The competitions, when you start those up, you only have like twice a year. It's not like all the time or anything like that. Now they do practice as well with the team, and the teams can be anywhere from 8 to 12 people. And those people range from young teenagers, the youngest one is 14, all the way up to 60s. And so it's a very impressive sport. They're trying to get it rated for the Olympics, actually. But it's a wonderful group of people that are trying to just, treat the horses really well. Annabelle has been trained ever since she was 4 years old. Her trainer is Erin, sorry, I can't remember her last name right now for some reason because she just got married. But she has been training Annabelle since she was 4. Her father was a serviceman, and we took her over there, and ever since she was been 4. She trains adults and children. She also does equine massage. And so she's going to, she would like to build a business around those things. She encourages young adults. Tonight, I'm alone because my husband got stuck on the border trying to come back from Arizona. And my daughter and son-in-law and Annabelle are at a empowering young families, middle school age, to stay away from drugs through North Carolina State University. So they couldn't miss that because it's a 10-week program that they run, and that is held in Warrenton, North Carolina. So, but we're a family that prides ourselves in, you know, how things look, because we want to live next to people that take care of their property as well. And so I'm very professional. I had a business for years. My husband has a business, and it will be, you know, top notch. The horses will be taken care of. We're only going to have 5 horses ourselves. And so people will bring them in to train, you know, and Annabelle will work with them. But we do plan to both live there because we're aging, and then my daughter will be able to take care of us as we age.
And that's the 2 residences, ranch styles you're
Yes,
talking about?
Yes.
Okay. And then you're talking about also having 4 cabins. Is that like for people
Yes,
that?
well, when people travel to these, generally, there's not a lot of places for the trainers, you know, to stay on site, and of course, they want to be near their horses. So I did provide some pictures, but I didn't bring any of those pictures of my, you know, the board that I had. But it's going to be just small, 1-bedroom studio places, so they have a place to stay, and they usually bring their trailers, you know, too. And the property is 28 acres, so things will be able to be organized very nicely and neatly. I know that's a concern of a lot of people.
Okay. And you would operate that 6 day?
We would be there, well, I don't know, I mean, training is scheduled, you know, I mean, right now Annabelle trains probably 4 times a week. It just depends on, and she holds a full-time job too.
Okay.
And in school. She's in college as well, so.
Okay. All right.
Those cabins, they will be used only for the people that take part in the training, for, you know,
Well, we
Or
would like
you
to
can
rent
just
them
go
out
like-
other, you know, otherwise too. But we're on site.
also you might have people who permanently rent one
No,
room.
no, not permanently rent, just like, you know, a vacation or a night away or things like that. And we're hoping to have other training sessions. My daughter is a teacher as well. So she does a lot, and they're pastors of a church, both of them. He's retired military, now a pastor. But they do a lot of things to help families. And so they have, you know, access to a lot of different programs to make healthy families and relationships. And so, I mean, our dream is to use it for other things. Maybe it would be a young couples retreat or something like that. And it'd just be small, you know, amount of people because there's only 1 bedroom in each one.
Right.
So it's not a lot of people. But we're not going to be rented. I doubt it would be rented. I mean, if you look on most websites that have a small cabin, the ratio of the amount of times that it's rented in a month is minimal, especially in the area. There's not really a big draw, you know, other than if they had something to do on the farm and they wanted to be exposed to some.
So you're
learning.
saying that it's just a one room,
So, 1 bedroom.
one bedroom?
With like a studio with a.
Does it
living room.
have any, what other facilities does the
It'll have
cabin?
a bathroom and a kitchen.
It does have a
kitchenette,
kitchen,
like, yeah.
a kitchen,
A studio, like,
a studio type.
yes, with a, you know, a bedroom, bathroom, a little place to eat.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else here to speak for this application? Okay, is there anyone to speak against this application?
I got the list.
Oh, okay, he's got the list here.
Ms. Washington?
Hey, Robert, adjust that microphone to, not yours,
This one?
for the people that are coming up. She was too short. All right.
Good. That's fine. Thank you.
You just have to wait.
Okay, my name is Delphine Washington. I go by Lupino. I live at 249 Union Chapel Road in Buffalo Junction, Virginia. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I was introduced to this area 13 years ago. Decided to sell my home in Greensboro, North Carolina, and build a house so that we could live here and also have my parents move this way. They will move in this area from Maryland, getting away from all the congestion and all the noise up that way. The peace and tranquility of the area convinced us to build in this area. I understand community comes first in local government. Buffalo Junction is my community. Excuse me. I understand Mecklenburg County is your community. The concerns I have for my community with the up and coming progress, which needs to be discussed, are as follows. I have a concern right now. Everybody that's out there is on well water. So we're bringing in a commercial property. How is that going to affect our water table? At 249 Union Chapel Road, it took 8 hours for us to perk for a 4-bedroom home. What is it going to take for these cabins, 2 houses, the sewage for the horses, and all those the stuff that comes with an increase in population on the 28 acres? The other problem, the other concern that I have is that Union Chapel Road is not the straightest road in the world. It has some really dangerous hairpin curves in it. I have concern with trailers, horse trailers coming down those roads. Right now, we have to fight logging trucks and dump trucks coming down that road. If you meet one of those in a curve, you won't survive it. So most of the time,
You have 1 minute.
most of the time we try and blow our horns or stop to listen to see what's coming around those curves. There are blind curves. So if we're going to have this progress, there's some changes or some improvements that need to be done to that area. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where's their home in relation to where this is?
Mr. Edward Yancey?
This is the property,
Yeah.
I think. This is 1 mile Union Chapel Road. Her
That's you.
property would have to be over.
My name is Edward Yancey. I live at 378 1 Mile Road. I would like to express my concerns in the reference to the proposed horse ranch voting, training, competition events, and small farm with all these residents and hospitality cabins. As a local farmer, I have lived in this community for 57 years. It is a quiet farming community in which this venue will change to make up the farming community which the residents of this area do not want. We do not want a commercial type business that will not have the day-to-day home environment. You will notice as it speaks of 2 ranch-style homes and 4 rental cabins. Therefore, I classify this as a commercial business. With the increase of traffic, there will be a need for the DOT to steady the amount of traffic that will be entering and exiting the property and follow the state Virginia guidelines, not local ordinance. We do not classify this as an asset to the community. I would like to keep the weekends quiet and free of chaos. And I have a list of people that are in objection to this coming to the community that will sign if y'all would like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's 15 names.
How many?
15.
Where's your house in relation to,
I can sit at my house and I can see the entire property, at least 65 to 70% of the entire property.
So, are you on the same side? I have a map here. Are
You on the same side of the road?
Same side of Union Chapel?
They're on 1 mile.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, okay.
All of this whole area is open pasture land, pretty much. Exception with hedgerows, a few hedgerows.
There aren't any trees or anything between my house and that property.
Thank you.
20 acres, not enough, put 2 houses before. Four cabins on, yeah, it's just not, I don't think it's feasible.
Thank you, sir.
Steve Yancey?
All right, that's from this letter.
Yes, sir. Good evening. My name's Steve Yancey. I live at 780 Cal Road, Buffalo Junction. The property that I'm opposed to is near my parents' property, which is 378 1 Mile Road. I'm against the horse ranch that is proposed, boarding, training, competition events, small farm, 2 ranch-style residences, a hospitality, 2 and 4 cabins. My question is, in general, has the Department of Transportation, are they going to repave Route 781 and Route 728 every year due to the increased traffic and heavy hauling vehicles that will increase on both roads? The average horse weighs 900 to 2,000 pounds, and I referenced horserookie.com amongst others to make sure I was correct on that. These country back roads were not designed and built to withstand these types of heavy loads that will be every weekend from April to October. My wife rides horses, and my father-in-law, and they go to horse events. I've been to several horse events, and you may have 20 entries, you may have 50 to 100 entries at those events. Does Mecklenburg County have a noise ordinance in this area of the county? Am I going to have to listen to loudspeakers, loud music, crowd noise every weekend? How are they going to put 6 septic systems on 28 acres, 4 cabins and 2 houses? Is there a limit to the number of septic systems that are allowed on a property in the Mecklenburg County? Has there been a watershed study done? I'm sorry.
Got 1 minute.
Okay. Has there been a watershed study done on this property for the increase in the amount of waste runoff from the horses during the events? As I mentioned, you're gonna have more than 5 or 6 horses at these events. You're gonna have 20, 50 to 100, depending on how many people come. It's open to the public. As I mentioned, my wife rides horses, and the events that I've been to, that's the gist. It's not a consistent number of people. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Who's the other person who wanted to speak? You should print your name on that for me. You for or against?
Against.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Randy Rivette. I live at 5774 Highway 49, Buffalo Junction. And the property that they're talking about is actually right behind my property. And I have it all right there. You can see everything that they want to do there. It's going to affect my hunting, my riding, the facility, the way the lay of the land is. It comes down towards my property, the slope of it. So all the horse waste, septics, all that is going to be coming towards my property, which is going to go in my stream. When I bought the place, I bought it for my privacy, hunting and riding, 4-wheelers and stuff like that. And they're talking about basically putting a facility up. This could be an amusement park, a complex. This is not even zoned for that, so that's, I guess, we're here, but I disagree highly with it. As far as camping goes, and lodges and cabins, now I've got a bunch of people gonna be backed up to my property, which I don't know what they're gonna be doing. I don't know these people. Right now, it's farmland. They're gonna be renting out cabins, and like she even said, it's not gonna be just for strictly horse ranchers. It could be people coming out of the city, from Raleigh, from wherever. There are gonna be people just renting out like for rent by owner, different facilities. You can go anywhere. There's plenty of hotels here in this town. I don't agree with this at all. I bought my property over a year ago and did everything like I was supposed to. And the extra noise, the vehicles, like they said, as far as the traffic on these small roads, it's gonna cause just a bunch of more noise, more danger, especially with the logging trucks and everything else, like Larry's wife said. It's just not enough room for this facility as far as all the septic tanks, and let alone all the waste and everything coming down to my property, which the lay of the land is gonna do.
1 minute. You got 1 minute left.
I like horses and all that, but they also draw a lot of flies and insects. It's just gonna create more of that right on my property, along with the neighbors and everything else, because horses do have a lot of flies. I had horses up in Oregon years ago, and I know how that works. I strongly disagree with this. The property I bought was not zoned for commercial businesses and things like they're doing here, or wanting to propose to you guys to do. I strongly disagree with this. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Do we have any other questions for the applicant you want to ask her? Okay, any discussion?
I see on this Commonwealth Virginia Department of Health, a permit to construct a sewage disposal system must be issued before construction of a system. And someone said that this is like a commercial operation. Was that a valid point?
I wouldn't say it's commercial.
What would you call it then?
It's more of a resort type activity.
Well, the resort, better come up with a better word than resort.
I mean, you're not getting into selling stuff and hauling stuff in. So it's not really into the commercial side of it. It's not a retail place.
VDOT have a problem with supposedly the way the road is. I'm not familiar with what they're talking about.
I hadn't heard anything from VDOT. Of course, they would have to get with VDOT on the entrance. But as the road wise, VDOT's not going to comment on that.
Am I allowed to say something again?
No.
The-
Yeah, if you could please come forward and address some of the concerns, I would appreciate it.
I think there's a big misconception of the commercial. The events would only be, the mounted archery is only twice a year. The rest of the time, Annabelle would be training one sole family to come over and train them.
Please
For
address
someone to ride.
You'll have to talk to us.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
They don't
Or
make the
to,
decisions.
They would, it'd be 2 mounted archeries if she builds to that point. It's a lot to do an event like that, and it depends how many people sign up. And it could be 20 that weekend. But it's not every weekend. And the other people are training, just like if somebody came to visit your home or your family, that's the only traffic, that would be coming in. It's not in and out, in and out. We're not building this big commercial place. It's a home business.
Okay.
That's what it is. And I can show you pictures. All of the ranchers that we know that do this, they have ranches. They do beef cattle and, agriculture. but it doesn't change the landscape. Now, we will have a training, a small training arena for her. Hopefully, we can get a covered one, but we might not. And there's not going to be people, I can tell you that, because I'm the person that's going to be over the cabins. There will be no business that's, intolerable.
Right.
Because that's not who I am at all. And, like I said, we're a family, and we're a very close-knit family. And we're also, a family that has a preacher, 2 preachers, and they have certain standards as well. That's my grandson, Conrad, right there. He's 16, and he's another one that's a mentor in the community as well. But we're not there. We bought the property because we love the serenity too, and that's what drew us. But we also see that there's a lot of families that are hurting now, and that's our intent, is to help other families and help, Annabelle's is to help children that have had some dysfunction, things that happen in their life. She had a lot happen in her life. Her dad went away when she was 4. If she didn't get tied to horses, she wouldn't be the young lady that she is now, and the mentor to so many other teens. She has pulled them from bad situations and gotten them involved with horses. But it's, we're not there to change. We want a peaceful home and a surrounding too. We love the farm life. But we're not going to have so many, hundreds of horses or anything. That's not what it is. When there's an event, there could be 20 to 25 horses there that weekend.
Are the 4 cabins already there?
No. Nothing's on the property right now. We're not doing anything until we get
I
approval.
would think not.
But we do see a need for.
What kind of sewage disposal system are you gonna have?
Well, we got it all approved already, and it's not gonna be, all the time somebody's gonna be there. I mean, when an event happens, we might have, each of the 4 rented out, but that's it, I don't see but 1 or 2 being rented at other times, we're not gonna book it out, I doubt that very seriously.
I believe I heard you say.
Not from my, what I look at, as far as,
I believe I heard you say, y'all planning on living there?
yes.
So y'all will be
We're gonna
on
be
the
in one of
property?
the house, and my daughter and her family's gonna be in the other,
Okay, so y'all be there.
yes.
What kind of participation you expect for the weekend?
Well, I was trying, I'm going to an event in Florida next week to see Annabelle compete. And they just came from the largest one, and that was a 3-day, but that was the first of 3. And that's because they have like 300 acres, they have a bigger facility. But all the other ones that we've went to in other states, usually it's only a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday, and they have about 30 horses that come. But we might not ever get to that point, you know what I mean? She's doing it to develop her own business, and she has to do all that, recruiting people to join. But we're not doing all those other fun shows and, all that other stuff like rodeo. We're not into that, no. Okay. It's training and, these competitions and things to help, support families to bond together.
How many horses do you think you'd be boarding at a time, will be there, on a regular basis?
Regular basis? I don't
10,
have those
20?
counts, but it wouldn't be many because Annabelle doesn't like boarding. There's just some issues with that. Because she's been, with her trainer for so many years, she knows the ups and downs of, paying somebody and not paying somebody. And just there's a lot of trouble that happens with boarding. We'll leave that to people in Raleigh. They have bigger facilities. But, definitely she would have to board somebody if she's training them a few days or breaking something, them in. Okay. Right now, she has 4 horses herself, and she's trained them, from the ground up, so.
All right. Thank you. Any other discussion?
I don't know, has everybody read this permit for the Williams family that's attached? Like, for instance, item 4, construct 4 one-bedroom cabin setting back from the berm, install one well of water, 4 bedroom septic systems that have been perked and approved, build a stable halfway back toward the right side of the property and a round pen for the area to hold the events. Then bid 2-bedroom, 1-bath ranch-style residences in the middle of the left of the property and outside the pavilion for the residents to be installed in between the 2 ranch-style houses. Wow.
All right. Any other discussion? Do I hear a motion on this application? This is in election District 1.
Who's one?
I don't know who 1 is.
I make a motion that we approve it, based on it will provide more tourism in the county. It will not be detrimental to the public welfare. It will not adversely affect the health or safety of persons or the neighborhood for the proposed use to construct a commercial entrance per VOT regulations.
Okay. Motion's been made. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Watson. All those in, you want to do a roll call?
You don't have to.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on our agenda tonight is application by Wilson Ray to rezone from residential R2 to business B1 to allow for a used tire shop. This property is give me 1 second, sir.
Okay, sorry.
Give me just 1 minute.
Ready?
I gotta read the application.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Give me 1 second. All right, let's start all over again here. Application we received from Wilson Ray to rezone from residential R2 to business B1 to allow for a used tire shop. This property is zoned residential R2, is located on the west side of Highway 618, approximately 1 mile south of its intersection with Highway 627. This is in election District 4. Is there anyone here to speak for this application? All right, which is your name?
Wilson Ray.
Wilson Ray. All right, Mr. Ray.
I'm not very good at this, but anyway, I've got an asthma problem. I'm not even sure I'm gonna be able to complete this.
That's okay, go ahead.
I'm really not sure why I'm here tonight, because this business was established probably 100 years ago. There was a store building there. The original store is still there. The store that's there now, it was built in 1962 by Mr. Meyer Reed. I bought the property in 1983. It was a working business when I bought it. I sold gas, groceries, had to get a beer and wine license. I had a license to process meat. I had a license to even sell guns and ammo at one time. So, I mean, I'm really not sure how it got to be residential to start with. But anyway, I seen a picture of it a while ago there, about the front of it or something there, but I know that's probably intimidating to a lot of people, but I've been running like a thrift shop there for the last 10, 12 years. The things that I have on the outside there is people that do projects. They look for these things every day. I don't know if you got any pictures on the inside or not, but everything that I got on the inside is well organized. We're planning on, I'm in the process now. I'm 71 years old. I done about got tired of doing it. This guy wants to do some business there. We're planning on getting rid of all of the stuff that's out front, everything that's on the inside. I'm in the process of selling it right now. We're gonna clean the property up. It's gonna be painted, it's gonna have a new roof on it. We're gonna try to organize things and get it looking good, and
And it'll be a used tire shop there, and
Yes,
that's what
sir.
he's planning. Is he planning on running just 5 days a week, do you know?
probably 5 days a week will be it.
Okay.
How's it being run there? Is it a flea market now?
It's like a little thrift shop. I've
So-
been doing this for like 10, 12 years.
So once it becomes a B1 from original R2, will all the things that the flea, like the flea market, will that come to an end?
All of that's gonna be gone. I'll be
That'll
out
be
of
gone.
that.
The only thing there will be just the tire shop, nothing else.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay?
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here to speak for this application? Is there anyone here to speak against this application? Please come forward and state your name.
Okay, my name is Ann Upton.
And
I live at 93 Young Road, Boyden, Virginia. I'm here to represent my mother, who is 92 years old and lives next door to this property at 2809 Marengo Road in La Crosse. I had previously sent a letter stating the reasons that we did not want that used tire shop next to the property. She has sent a letter because she wasn't able to be here tonight. If y'all want me to read that letter, I'd be glad to. Do you have, you should have a copy of the letter and.
I gave you all a
pic-
copy.
yes, we have
Yeah.
that.
The property there, my mother's house, they moved there in 1956, I believe, but the house was built in 1943. My father passed away 20 years ago. She's there by herself. Right now, there's a flea market there. Many times the property is full of items. Customers have to park in or block the driveway in order to shop at that flea market. And I want to just read parts of this letter. It's trying to be a good neighbor. I've never complained to him, but I don't particularly like this and find it very annoying when visitors come to my house and they have a difficult time getting in my driveway. Mr. Ray's property is very small. I have included an enlarged copy of the plat of my property and his property. In fact, his property is so small that his septic drain fields continue onto my property. With no harm intended to Mr. Ray, I'm requesting that you deny him the request to rezone this property based on these reasons. It would be noisy, always having the public coming and going, thus blocking and obstructing passage in my driveway, interrupting a quiet and private area of my residence, possibly devaluing my property, and if any garage work is done there, the back of this property is only about 100 feet from my front door, which is not satisfactory with me. And thus, just represent my mother, and her name is Betty Clyburn. She's 92.
Betty Clyburn.
I appreciate any consideration on this. I think y'all have the rest of the information that you need to show. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here to speak against this application? Did we have any other calls or letters?
Just that one letter.
What happened? Because it looked like it was a business been run there for a while. What happened with all of that?
You have to ask Mr. Carter, he's the one that did the zoning back in 1990.
I mean, it looks like it was a business been there for a while.
It's still some other mom and pop places out here that when zoning went into effect in 1990 is either still zoned as ag or R2.
Yeah, but they're zoned, that's where they are.
Yeah. But to do this type of business, it's got to be rezoned to
Right.
be one.
I understand. right. This is in electric district 4. Do I hear a motion on this application?
Recommendation to approve. The rezoning would allow for a used tire shop on the property. It would not be detrimental to the public welfare. It would not affect adversely the health or safety of persons or the neighborhood for the proposed use.
Motion's been made to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda tonight is application by James and Mary Kelly for a special exception permit to allow for a second home. This property is zoned agriculture, is located on the south side of Highway 47 at its intersection with Route 660 Old Cox Road. Is there anyone here to speak for this application?
No, sir.
Anyone here to speak against this application? Did we have any calls or letters on this application? One minute.
No, sir.
No? Okay. Any discussion? Do I hear a motion on this application?
I make a motion that we approve. The county has approved this type of application, request a second home on the same track of lane in the back. It will not be detrimental to public welfare. It will not affect adversely the health and safety of persons of the neighborhood and the purpose used.
Okay, motion's been made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Yes, ma'am. What can I help you?
Can I appeal this decision?
No, ma'am. What you can do is, this will also be heard by the Board of Supervisors on what day? Right. You can go back before them and state your case before them at that meeting.
We just make a recommendation. The Board of Supervisors will have to approve it or disapprove. This is just a recommendation.
No, it's just a
Right.
recommendation to the
It's
board.
just a recommendation, ma'am.
It's not final. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Thank y'all for giving it to the board.
Anything we can do to help.
I appreciate it. I love y'all too.
I think he threw you under the bus, David.
All right, last item on our agenda tonight is an application by, all right, let's Mecklenburg County here.
That's right.
Land Use Development Solar Location. It is recommended that the applications for the special exception permit for solar facilities located within a 5-mile radius circle of its intersection with Highway 92 and Highway 47 in the town of Chase City. It is recommended that no more than 5% of the total acreage as measured by limits of disturbance be allowed for solar facilities located within the circle to avoid an excessive concentration of solar facilities within the circle. Limits of disturbance shall mean the entire area located within the project fencing plus land located outside of the project fencing which has been disturbed for the purpose of serving the solar site. Would you like to comment, sir? After that mouthful.
It's basically from what the board, I think, had recommended or had discussed about the 5% in the radius from Highway 47 to 92 in Chase City.
Yes, sir.
And the county attorney is the one that provided with the wording to go into the comp plan. And just remember, the comp plan is a recommendation, is not the law. So this gives you some kind of leeway as to the solar facilities coming to the county.
Okay. Is there any other discussion?
I'd like to address the wording of it. If you'll notice, it says it is recommended, and then a couple lines down, it says it is recommended again. That we strike the second is recommended because it's already been recommended the first time. So it would read, if you took that phrase out, correct grammar, it is recommended that no more than 5%, but that additional phrase is in there. Does that make sense? Am I explaining it?
Yes, ma'am.
But I think if you go back, it's saying it's recommended that applications for special exception permits, and then it's referring to it's recommended that no more than 5%. I think you're talking about two different topics.
Well, then the first one is not a complete sentence, and we need to correct that somehow, because he's got a comma there and it's a run-on. And if we're gonna adopt it into our, not the ordinance, we're putting it in the comp plan.
Right.
The wording is just a little bit confusing. It's not.
I understand.
It's not stated exactly correct. It runs on.
Can we, Mr. Raymond, put a period behind Chase City there and then start again?
You can't because it's not a complete
It's
sentence.
not a complete sentence.
See, it starts off, it is
I understand.
recommended, and then it's got a that and a
Why
for.
don't we just take the one that's on, we have, it is recommended the application for special exception permits for solar facility located within a 5-mile radius circle of the intersection of Highway 92 and 47, which would cause the total acreage of solar facilities located within the circle to constitute more than 5% of the total acreage within the circle, be denied to avoid excessive concentration of solar facilities within the circle. I don't care which one we want to use.
Okay.
Both of them say the same thing, but
Can we approve or disapprove of this and then, and ask Russell to
get the wording.
look up at the concern that we have here and see
Right.
if he can make sure that we
Yeah.
got it worded right?
Yeah,
I agree with,
that-
that's a good suggestion.
I got it from him.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Any other discussion?
it's so double talk, really.
Yeah, it is. It really is kind of
She made a
Y'all can
va-
adopt
that
this
was
and I
a-
can send it back to him and ask
a
him to look at
valid
it.
point. It's
Tell him
kind of,
to go by Charlie's and see his wife. Any other discussion? All right. No other discussion. Do I hear a motion on this application?
I move we approve it with David's exception there, to go back and reword it.
Okay.
second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those,
David say.
he's,
David second?
Yeah. No.
oh,
Charlie.
Charlie, I'm sorry.
Charlie.
And, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. We're now going to close public hearing. Approval of the minutes for the September 29th, 2022 Planning Commission meeting.
Yes,
Mr. Raymond.
Mr. Chairman, we have reviewed the minutes and I make a motion we approve the September 29th, 2022 Planning Commission meeting.
Motion's
Minutes.
been made to approve the minutes for September 29, 2022. Is there a second?
I second.
Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
We need a motion for number 10 too.
Yes,
don't we?
sir. For rescheduling the November the 24th, 2022 planning meeting to December the 1st due to Thanksgiving holiday. Do I hear a motion on this application?
So move.
Second. Motion's been made and
Who
seconded.
made it?
Motion, second. Lastly.
Go fast.
It's all right. We're trying to catch up lost time.
Okay.
All right.
I think I'm
And
caught up.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Mr. Administrator, whenever you so desire.
Everybody should have a copy of the billing report and zoning permit. Any questions on those? I don't even. You can see how zoning permits were down a little bit, but ENS is always up.
Gotcha.
Have we got anything planned for next meeting or nothing right now?
I'm thinking, I don't think so.
Okay.
Of course, the next meeting will be the first Thursday in December.
Yeah, but I just wondered if there's anything.
Okay.
I don't think we do. Yeah.
Okay.
Still waiting on the stuff from about the cell towers, so
Yeah, that'll be a while away because they're still working on that.
I know we discussed it before when I was here, but I talked to David about, our solar issues. And, I realized we just passed this one tonight and it'd be recommended to the board, but, asked him if he would make some other recommendations because of the amount of interest that is still gathering, for solar facilities in and around our same area, but it's gonna be outside of the 5%. And maybe get another recommendation from the board and discuss that with them. At their next meeting.
What is most of y'all's thought on the amount of solar we got? I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm giving my opinion at the board or something like that, but I wanna make sure that I talk, I mean, what's y'all's thought? I mean, have we got enough, we need more, or, I mean, I'm probably not very pro solar.
I don't know that we need a whole lot more. I mean, it's
Some of
getting
the,
pretty saturated out there now.
some of the items that that I asked him about was either do a percentage total per district, an acreage per district, or an overall acreage per the whole county, or, as in Charlotte County, a moratorium on it. And those are all the different type of options.
I know some counties have put a moratorium on them, but, I mentioned something to Russell about that. Russell, well, y'all got the authority to approve them or not approve them, and stuff like that. But sometimes personally, I think I'd like to see us get it out there that this is what we accept and we're not gonna accept no more or whatever. And then we ain't gotta go through this process, and the people that put in the application don't have to go spend a lot of money going through this thing, not knowing until they get, because these guys, I mean, I know that, everything you read, they're not spending their money. They get a lot of federal money, grant money, and stuff like that. But anyway, they spend a lot of money before they ever walk in our door and even bring it aboard. I mean, they surveying and testing land as a whole lot. In courtesy to them, if we kind of let them know where we stand, this is it, or whatever, then I think it would help both parties a little bit, my personal opinion.
There's no, I don't reckon there's any percentage for counties in Southside Virginia as to how many solar they have. It's in a way that you could inquire or run a check to see what percentage of the acreage is devoted to solar in other counties.
I probably could check around with some of the surrounding jurisdictions to see, like Kyle said, no
And give
more
us-
right now going to Charlotte County.
That'd give us something to chew on, at least something to make a comparison to. What do y'all think?
I think Halifax already has 6.
Did Charlotte County Planning Commission put the stops on them?
I think the board did.
The board did. They put a moratorium on it for a year right now.
And I see a lot of these surrounding counties, their income is not a lot of sources to bring in money, and the solar farm is probably getting them some money. We're very blessed here in this county that, that we got some income coming other than just taxes that's pretty good. And, I don't see any, we collect a lot of money from tourism in this county, and I don't think many of these tourism people ask, how many solar farms like to come see your solar farms and stuff. They're not drawing people in here very much. And
like a lot of these people we're talking tonight, they move here for that specific reason.
Well,
They come
I
here.
think everybody knows the lake. This lake is probably the biggest
Right.
asset we have.
Right. And I just,
I don't have a problem with solar farms if they're gonna lease it. for so many years. But when they buy the property, the public will never get that property back. That's what happened when the owners came in and bought this property for planting trees. And we'll never get that property back. Because it goes into a corporation and they just hold it.
Right.
Now, if they lease it, I don't have a problem with it. But when they come in and buy property, you know, that bothers me. Because I don't think it ever get back in somebody's hand again when they buy the property.
And from what I've heard, with some of these solar companies that have approached the property owners, they say, you buy, I sell, I'm not leasing. And that's what you run into as well. And then you run into some that says, no, I don't want to sell, I'll lease it to you. But, you know, then you have some purchase and some lease.
Well, the only thing I see that is that, you know, who does it, when they build, the solar farms that we got, what benefit it is to the 32,000 people in Mecklenburg County? It helped the 2 or 3 people that sold the land and the solar people that develop it. Other than that, I haven't seen nothing go down on our light bills or anything like that. Because they're probably selling that electricity to somebody else.
Yeah, and then if you ride by the ones the 3 that's in our district right now, I can't, you know, I think it's what, 24% efficient, you know, if all day, all night, whatever. But if you go by there and look at them, it's a great percentage of the panels is turned completely the wrong way all day long. I mean, they out there, they collecting this money from the government and stuff like that, and they making a killing off of it. But I don't see them being very efficient out there. No.
And the panel situation is at all sites, not just ours. Just went on Pete River Farm. I had to go over to Georgefield, I think it was Georgefield subdivision, on some issues. And right there on Pete River Farm, they got a solar facility there that I guess is probably 700-800 acres. And you can see it from the road. It's not screened at all. And you can see panels all different directions.
Yeah, then once it's built, there's no employment or anything there to amount to anything. But you know, if you go right up the road here, it's like ants up there. There's a lot of employment up there and stuff. A lot of people working and stuff like that, bringing money into the county.
And one thing about it, they're not making any more land, so.
But like I said, I can research. I haven't heard of anything going on in Brunswick
Starting
County,
to get it back.
except for the one that Dominion
These
Energy
electric
was
cars
doing.
are steady coming. They get everybody to make
Brunswick
it.
County's got some. I know Halifax got at least 6 or 8, the last I heard. And then, of course, what Charlotte County has.
All right. Any other discussion? Do I hear a motion, we adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, get up and run out. Thank y'all.
Charlotte